burns dry. A dream or a song that hits you so hard, filling you up, suddenly gone.
Hello, welcome. Welcome. We are running a little bit late today, but welcome to One Shot Revolver. Today we are playing Dungeon World. And before we get started, we shall start with traditional acknowledgement of country. I begin today by acknowledging the Wurundjeri people of the Kulin Nation and the Noongar people, traditional custodians of the land on which we meet today, and pay my respects to their elders, past and present. So, we have two guests today. Fantastic GM guest, Michael Pulsford. And we also have another guest, and that's Kirstyn Lee. So, let's, why don't you two introduce yourself as you are the guests?
Cool. I'm Mike. I organise a lot of games. I organise a few monthly nights of indie one-shots in Melbourne in a few different locations. I read a lot of role-playing games back in the 80s as a sort of awkward bookish teenager, and kind of dreamed about what it would be like to play them. And had like one disastrous session with the creepy tech studies teacher who ran the chess club, and a few other guys from the chess club, just sort of pretty much all the nerdiest nerds from the school, while some other kids actually stood around the edge of the room and watched from a distance, just like trying to work out what we were doing. And it just didn't work. And a few years later, I met some friends who did play role-playing games, but they also played in a rock band, and I played drums. So I got cooler then for a while, but never kind of really got to fulfill the promise of all that sort of teenage imagining. So it was in the pandemic that I kind of picked it up again and just kind of got completely obsessed. I'm autistic, so we dive into things, and that's the vibe. And yeah, Kirsty, who I'll throw to, was someone I knew from our kids' school, who I knew was into D&D, and just kind of invited her pretty early on. We've played a lot of games since then.
Hello, I'm Kirsty, she, they. I've actually been playing D&D since I was in high school, but I had a big break. And then about a year ago, I was introduced to the whole world of independent games, and my life has just exploded into obsession ever since. So pretty much play like 4 games a week. Relatively obsessive. And thank you so much for inviting me to this one.
Thank you so much for joining us. Michael, let's get started.
Okay. It is All Souls Eve. This is a night that is kind of full of it strikes fear in the hearts of the ignorant and the wise, but for different reasons. Wren, what do the legends say is most frightening about this night? What should people be afraid of on a night like this?
Well, I mean, there are a lot of songs about All Souls Eve. It's one of the most famous holidays on the continent. Mm. But originally, All Souls Eve was the night when people respected and remembered their dead, because All Souls Eve is the night when ghosts come back. I mean, people now have stories about all these other creatures and critters that lurk in dark corners, but the oldest stories, the oldest tragedies, and some of them are just beautiful, they're about ghosts.
Mm. And do you give any credence to those sort of, I mean, there's legends, there's debate amongst the bards, isn't there, about whether there's any chance at all at the gap between this world and the hell worlds might perhaps grow a little thinner, might perhaps even be prone to rupture. an educated modern bard such as yourself, do you pay any attention to those stories?
Absolutely.
Oh.
I think that it's important that we remember that the hell worlds and the afterlife are just as real as the here and now. I mean, where do you think all the heroes of the ages past have gone? They're all there standing, waiting in rows on the other side of the borders to keep us safe. You know, if they aren't there, who else would be?
Of the heroes you've learned about in, this kind of legends of heroes past, are there any that, perhaps ordinary mortals should be concerned about perhaps returning from hell? Or are they all good? All nothing to worry about there, nothing to see?
Oh, I mean, it would be lovely to think that all of our heroes were solely good people, but we're realistic, modern educated folk here. Not everyone is good through and through. Even the people who do good things, sometimes it's not done for the best reasons. And, that is taught in Bard School.
Mm-hmm.
We don't generally sing about the bad reasons for doing good things. Mostly we just sing about the good things that people do. But this town in particular, there was a hero, and I say hero with a pinch or two of salt, about 200 odd years ago. I believe he was related to the Bondsnapples, in fact. And I thought that the latest Bondsnapple heir was going to be here tonight, but apparently he had more important things to do than come to Milltown and talk to the plebs with the rest of us. It's all right. I'll be playing my violin anyway. But I don't know. It's not clear whether this Jonathan Karnak was an enemy of the Bondsnapples or a rival, or perhaps something closer. There's some stories about some kind of doomed love affair. But what we do know is that he killed about 20 people whilst trying to save one. And he didn't really seem to be too upset about it. There's stories about him standing on the roof of the town hall and just laughing and laughing under a blood-red moon. And who knows, maybe that's bardic license. Maybe it's not.
Cool. Thank you. I am going to suggest that you are uphill from Milltown. There's a tall, there's something tall overhanging it. Let's call it a mountain. And that cut into the mountain high above the town is a foul place, a foul and awful place. That the good and decent people of Milltown do their best to just pretend isn't even there. Winifred Greensward, what is a follower of Arn doing in this foul place? What prophecy do you seek to fulfill or thwart here? Or is there something you seek to recover?
I seek to recover souls.
Goodness.
Indeed, it is said that it is through the hearth and the home, good cooking, nice beer, that one can engage with those who may have lost their way. None of this preaching saintliness for us. Just good, honest mushroom stew, fine ale, and a few kind words around the fire. I don't think that any souls in any place, call it nasty if you will, are below those of Arn. We seek to minister to all.
So noble.
The prophecy of which you speak, it's a strange one. It's said that there is in a place, an unknown place, a fire, a hearth that burns cold, and that those who seek to take hospitality around this hearth will lose their way. And I believe, from what I know of the ancient legends, that somewhere near Milltown, this hearth can be found. I think if I can find it, I may be able to take news back to my order and we can do something about it.
Mm-hmm. And you can tell deep in your bones that this is a foul place, and yet the stone from which it is made reminds you of home somehow. What is it that reminds you of did you grow up underground? Where did you grow up?
I'm a hill dwarf, and so these foothills do speak to me of home. I mean, stones can speak to we clerics, we dwarven clerics, and they whisper to me of what it was when the earth was turned up, of times when the seas covered these lands and there were reefs here and fish swam. Those are stories I know, because those are the same stories the stones of my birthland speak.
Fantastic. And on Cherrytop, there's something that the cleric has said that makes you think there might be something to steal in this somewhere inside this mountain, overhanging Milltown. What have you come here to steal?
Well, I'm a very guarded kind of person, and I don't make friends easily, but one day I came across a little orphaned boy by the side of the road. I took him under my wing, and he's never had anything in his life. But I'd heard stories of this magnificent sapphire that existed within the mountain. And he wanted that sapphire for this young boy, to give him something in his meager life. Is that working?
Yeah, that's better.
Yeah.
Do you know anything else of this sapphire, or it's just what this boy has told you?
I knew that it's supposed to be the most magnificent sapphire in all the land.
Oh. Erin, Alexandra, sorry. Why did this group need your protection to reach this place? What terrors stalk these lands? Why did they need, the protection of one such as you and of Onyx who travels with you?
What terrors don't stalk these lands is a quicker question. These people are too easy to trust. And these folk here, simply bastards. And there's monsters and different things that go bump in the night. And between the two of us, Onyx and I, will slaughter them with no mercy.
What, now that you mention it, what has Onyx been eating on your travels?
Mostly rabbit. But, maybe a few pets went missing as well, or cattle. People don't pay their dues. Well, we take payment in other ways.
Excellent. Thank you all. I'm going to suggest that it is, I don't think we've said what time of day it is. I'm going to suggest that it is night. It's past evening. It's before midnight. Let's say it's about halfway. It's halfway in there. It's dark. But there is an icy white moon overhead. The shadows are stark. Everything has a monochrome kind of cast to it. And you can see spread out below you the lands through which you've traveled to reach this place. Making your way up the hill, you realize you're being followed. I believe, Alexandra, you'd be the first.
Oh, hell
this.
no. I draw my bow. What the fuck do you want?
You can't tell what they are. You just see some kind of you see some faint shapes on the hillside.
Wait, Alex. It could just be children from the town following us to see what we're doing.
I don't trust children.
Nobody trusts children, but you don't want to kill children either. They're not tasty. They have no meat on them, Onyx.
That's fair. Onyx, no. Not today.
You sense them coming closer. What do you do?
I get ready with my bow, warn the group that incoming.
There's a pause.
I'd like to, if I may, bend down and put my hands on the stones beneath us and ask them some questions about the people that are following us.
Mm-hmm. Please do. You're going to roll, it's called like one with stone or something?
Yeah, I believe it is called that. Hold on. Sorry, got to get used to this new sheet. Okay, yeah, words of the unspeaking.
Mm-hmm.
Have a go.
Onyx has graced us with his presence.
How did that roll work out? My screen's malfunctioning.
So I think you did that thing where you clicked the name of the spell rather than casting.
Okay, so I shall cast a spell then. Thank you for the reminder. Cast a spell. What do we get?
12.
Isn't that maximum?
All right. So the stones speak loudly tonight.
What are your questions?
I will whisper into them in a language they can understand, my mouth quite close, and I'll say, who follows?
Dead things.
And I'll say, how close?
They've slipped away.
Do they still follow?
At a distance.
Okay. No one freak out, but I think something dead is following us.
Well, it will be dead if it keeps following us, yes.
I think it's
the mighty heroes of the past. Obviously, they've come to lead us into the mountain to find you were looking for a cold hearth?
Yeah,
in the mountain?
That we would want to find unless we were well prepared. It's not a good place. It's not a welcome.
But Winifred, you're wise and great. You're prepared, right? That's how this works.
I'm not sure that these are things that we want to encounter. Maybe we should move a little bit more quickly.
I start playing a rousing tune on my violin, thus ruining everybody's ability
Your
to hear
violin, Wren Zohar, well, according to character sheet anyway, has never before been played. Why is that?
Well, the old one had an accident. And by had an accident, what I mean is the entire inn I was staying in had an accident with fire. And I escaped because I wasn't in my room at the time. I was visiting with a close friend in the stables. I was visiting with a close friend in the stables. Unfortunately, I lost most of my wardrobe and my violin in the fire. And as a result, I have had to obtain a new violin. And, these things are not common. It's been exciting. I haven't really had the chance to play it yet.
Mm-hmm.
It's a good time to try it.
Who taught you the violin?
I was taught the violin by the great violinist, whose name I have adopted, Zohar at the Coastal Bardic School. No relation, although I would love to claim a relation. Zohar is also a fiddle maker, and so I hope one day to be worthy of one of their fiddles. But fortunately, the one that was lost in the fire was not one of their fiddles, because otherwise I would never show my face in public again.
was going to ask a couple other establishing questions before we move on to much more. Andal, who
Sure.
in this party knows incriminating details about you, and what are they?
Well, I think they all know incriminating details about me now.
I would say that what's Erin's character again? Alexandra. Alexandra, as a sneaky kind of character, knows secret details about me, and knows perhaps that Andal made a deal with a very shady character.
To do a deal to do with this expedition, or just a deal?
No, a deal to go up in the world, I guess you could say.
Mm-hmm. Okay. And Winifred, is there anyone in this party that you trust as a good and kind of faithful person, someone who Anne would approve of?
It's well known that Anne can take offering of the songs sung around a hearth, and Wren, with their kind nature and ready song, is certainly someone that I have tried it many times to win over to our following. I wouldn't entirely trust Wren to make the best decisions where one would require a little bit less than naivety, but I would trust her to have my back.
And there's another question in here. All right, that's all good. So you are you going to proceed? Are you going to proceed up the hill, or are you going to try and find and confront what was following you? What are you going to try to do?
Winifred advised us to move a bit faster.
Mm-hmm.
She's the one who knows the mountains.
Mm-hmm.
I would also, as we walk, touch my fingers briefly to the golden circlet that rests on my brow and sort of mutter some words that anyone from my order would know is the incantation to turn undead, so that were they to attempt to come closer to me and those around me, they would not perhaps be able to. Should I roll for that?
Yeah, I reckon. Oh dear.
Now just make them come for us.
Yeah, I mean, that seems only right, doesn't it?
I don't think so.
No, I think so. I think that's only right. That's a 6. I think it just kind of has to happen. All right. So as you are proceeding up the mountainside, you notice the earth around you starts to kind of quiver and tremble, and occasionally occasionally a little finger kind of pop its way out here and there. Like little flowers, just kind of, or fungi, just kind of popping from the landscape.
But they look like fingers, did you say?
Yeah, they look like fingers. What do you do?
This reminds me of a song.
I did think I want to know this one. Can I cast Discern Realities?
Yeah, absolutely. Tell me what you're doing. Tell me what you're doing in the fiction to kind of to suss out what's going on.
I think he will try to examine the ground to see what has happened here recently.
All right. So roll Descend. So you're just looking around really closely, trying to sort of find a pattern in what's going on.
Yeah. Cool. I got an 8.
Nice. All right. So you can ask one question from that list.
What is about to happen?
You can.
DM is going to kill us.
Is what? Sorry.
The DM is going to kill us. Or what's about to happen.
Well, it seems from the way that some of the fingers are being joined by others, and some of what look like children's hands are starting to kind of poke out of the ground, that these fingers and hands are going to come further out, and like they may have purely benign motives, but that certainly doesn't feel that way.
Onyx is getting ready to num.
I think we should run fast.
Okay. You actually notice they're kind of more clustered behind you than in front of you. The hands are sort of like reaching up, to the side, a few to the front, but more and more, and they're kind of coming out further and further behind you. The night air, which till now has been reasonably crisp, is disturbed with the scent of rotting flesh, of putrefaction, of you ever found like a piece of meat just kind of like left for too long in the sun or something, or you had a roof with a dead animal kind of stuck in it somewhere. The stench is not great, and it is it's growing more intense. The hands are kind of starting to, and you hear a moaning sound starting to emanate from the earth behind you. What do you do?
Andal's going to run.
Okay. Are you running up the
mountain?
Okay.
Follow the Andal-shaped blur.
Are the rest of you coming as well?
Yep. I think that's a good idea.
I make eye contact with the others, and if it's clear that they're planning to run, then I shall do likewise. Hitch up my robes and run.
Mm.
Yep.
You, as you start to run, it's almost like you're being followed by a wave or something. The faster you go, the faster these little hands start to pop out of the ground. And are any of you going to look back, or are you just running ahead as fast as you can?
If they
I look back.
Following us, I look back.
You look back and you can see that sort of to the bottom of where of where they started emerging. There's kinds of you can see sort of heads and torsos like trying to kind of wrench themselves. Might have one arm free and trying to sort of wrench the other one out, just pulling themselves out of the ground. Some are quite skeletal. Some look more recent. Still kind of got rotting flesh on them and such. Wren, have you heard of anything like this happening on All Souls Eve before?
I was just about to see if I could spout some lore about the dead rising, not as ghosts but as physical beings on All Souls. So let's see if I can do that. Where is spout lore? There. So,
Rising up, back on the moon.
I do not. Yeah, that's a 6. Nope.
If it is clear to me that Wren is racking her brains, could I perhaps just as we run take a
as you run?
Yeah.
Okay. Tell me how this works. Paint a picture for me. You're running up this mountain, pursued by kind of like hands kind of like popping out of the ground and wrapping their wrists. What's the conversation you have with Wren at this moment, Winifred?
Let's say, remember All Hallows Eve.
Remember.
And I think that might be enough to just jog her memory and aid her. Maybe not. Can I try it? I don't think it's
sure. You want to do aid or interfere? Let's say you've got one bond with Wren from the from your answer before to that question. So yeah, roll with one bond.
Okay, hold on. Schmoot. So I just add a +1 in the...
Yeah.
Okay, and it would just be nice to tip that over into a 7. Okay.
Ooh,
Look at that shout. I just shouted exactly the right thing.
you did.
Oh, wow.
Perfect. All right, so then yours goes up to a 7, Wren. So I will tell you something interesting and useful. No, I'll tell you something interesting. It's on you to make it useful. Okay. That's just so evil, isn't it? Yep. Yeah, you recall that in this mountain, you have heard of great treasures and equally great dangers. And that both are connected with death. Yeah. That's kind of all you can recall as your very tempting treasures, very fearsome dangers, both connected with death.
All right. So as I run up the mountain, following
Andal,
yes.
Yep.
I pant. I'm like, Winifred, All Souls is about ghosts. It's the mountain. It's the mountain that's about death. They don't want us here.
Oh, I
Or maybe
remember-
they do want us here for a long time.
Okay, I pick up pace. As a dwarf, my legs are rather stout, and I'm not the tallest of dwarves, but I have a surprising turn of speed when being pursued by undead creatures.
Yeah.
Andal, this
Yes.
will the sapphire keep us safe from the dead? Or is that what they want?
All I know is that it's a magnificent sapphire. It's beautiful and shiny. I do not know any more than that.
Okay, this is ridiculous. I turn around to face the dead creatures.
Okay. Are the rest of you going to turn around as well, or are you still running?
Look here, you dead bastards!
I can't leave Alexandra to face them alone, so I'll turn, and as I turn, I'll touch a hand on her shoulder and whisper another incantation. Those who would know the spells of Arn would know that I'm attempting to bless her.
Ooh.
Okay, let's see if this will work. No.
Oh dear.
You really want me to party, like?
All right. So you're going to stand there, and this it's turning into a horde now of kind of skeletal.
A horde?
Oh, it's a horde. There's dozens of them. Some just sort of like reaching out of the ground, but some are starting to run, running in your direction. So you're going to stand and face.
I'm not going to
reconsider that.
keep running, but with the help of Onyx, who is an intimidating creature that I chose for him. We're gonna like scream them down and like roar at them and try to spook them out to not come any closer.
Okay. All right. Just trying to think what move is going to handle that. It's probably like defy danger. You're going to try to intimidate a horde of skeletons. Right. See how this goes. And everyone else is sticking around for this?
Yeah, I'm carrying on up the mountain, I think.
Okay, you're carrying on up the mountain. All right, so
carrying on. Carrying
on. Winifred, are you staying with Erin, or are you?
As long as anyone of the party remains, I will remain too. And if they move to leave, I will leave too. So I'll run at a pace with her, with my stubby little legs.
Okay. But no, sorry, you're So you're with Alexandra, or you're running up the mountain?
I'm running with Alexandra. Isn't Alexandra running while trying to intimidate?
Yeah.
You're trying to intimidate while running away.
Yeah, I'm sort of like running backwards, like, ah! Fuck off!
Not particularly intimidating running backwards.
All right.
It is rather less intimidating when one runs less backwards.
Okay, alternatively, I'm riding on Onyx's back. He's running forward. I'm sitting on him backwards, intimidatingly.
I'm going to wager that's still not very intimidating.
I'm very scary.
My sense is that the Horde knows they have the upper hand.
I didn't realize it was a Horde when I thought about this plan.
Yeah. That's all right. That's my bad, probably. All right. Well then, you come to a rise in the top, and you see essentially it flattens out. There's something of a plateau, and in the distance there's another rise, but shortly in front of you is kind of a protrusion, an opening, with a metal sort of portcullis. What do you call those gates that kind of go into
It is a portcullis.
Portcullis, yes.
Yeah.
There's sort of a portcullis type of door. And yeah, the stark kind of moonlight just sort of like covers the area. There's kind of nowhere to hide up there nearby unless you went in there, but you don't actually know what's in there. So that seems kind of scary. However, you don't have many options, but you could just keep running straight ahead if you want.
What can we see that is straight ahead apart from this gate? Portcullis.
So kind of you've reached the top of sort of one sort of hill. It kind of plateaus out for a time, and then the hills kind of continue up further ahead. So you've got some sort of shelter quite close, but you have no idea what's in there. It does look like skeletons wouldn't be able to get through it though if you could get it open.
How far behind us are the skeletons?
Look, let's say they are about, say, 50 meters. They're not, most of them aren't super fast. A couple of them are fast. But they're mostly just sort of shambling, and some are still pulling themselves. They don't seem that bright. However, they also don't seem like they're stopping. They're coming after you.
Everyone, keep running, keep running.
So you're going to avoid this potential shelter? Okay. I reckon that's who would be the slowest? Winifred, I think that's you. All right. Can you roll
I'm a half thing, so I'll be pretty slow.
You okay? The both of you then. Can you roll? Can you roll Defy Danger? Just flat.
So with strength or?
No, I think just flat. Just a flat Defy Danger. I don't think if you're short and little.
Kind of won't let me roll it unless I put in at least one field.
All right. Say strength then.
Nine for me.
All right. Effect. You stumble, hesitate, or flinch. The GM will offer you a worse outcome, hard bargain, or ugly choice.
Sounds good.
Right. You realise that the horde behind you is mounting in speed, and there's actually no way you're going to be able to outrun them. If you ignore this shelter, perilous though it probably is, you will be overrun. They'll be upon you. What do you do?
So
Uh,
Winifred's not a young dwarf, so she's just kind of going to grab Andal and kind of gasp, like she's beyond words at this point, and just kind of point at the portcullis and say, like, "You're a thief. Get that thing open."
all right. I think that's our only choice.
All right. I will use my arcane art to add to whoever assists someone next in the party, or at least
Cool.
try to.
All right. So are you all right? That's
Playing
cool.
my violin still.
Yeah. We'll do it. We'll do it sort of narrative-wise in a sec. Andal, what are you? Or actually, who's gonna try and get through?
I was going to tricks of the trade and pick any locks or disable any traps or whatever's around there.
Right. So let's say that you can work out the mechanism and you've got an idea of how you're probably going to be able to get it open.
Yep.
Going to roll tricks of the trade.
So if Winifred was able to assist Andal with that successfully, it would add 2 instead of 1.
7 to 9 is still the same. It's still
Fair
the same
enough.
result.
I do it, but at a cost.
Yep. Okay. You do see a mechanism that you could get open, but you realise it's gonna it's gonna damage your lockpicking gear to get it open. You're probably not going to be able to use it again until you have a chance to repair it.
Oh no.
So yeah, you could keep your lockpicking stuff intact and wait for the horde, or you could. What do you do?
I think we will get inside. A horde is not good, so.
Okay. You where did you learn to pick locks, by the way, Andal? Who taught you the tricks of the trade?
My dear departed father taught me the tricks of the trade.
Mm-hmm.
He was a master locksmith, but on the side he did some rather questionable jobs.
Were you raised just by him? Did you know your mother?
Just by him.
What did he say about your mother?
Well, usually he said my mother was a witch, and I'm never sure if he meant it in the literal or the figurative sense.
So you never knew her? You never knew where she...
Never knew my mother.
Did you ever see a picture of her? Did he describe what she looked like?
I asked many times, but all he would say is witch. That damn witch, he used to say.
Nice. What a time for reminiscences as the horde kind of scrambles up the hill behind you. But the 4 of you together, I think, are able to kind of like wrench the portcullis open and slip through and
shut it behind us,
drag it down behind you, and the horde just kind of like just at the last minute, it's kind of like hands just sort of reaching through. You see his like filthy fingernails and just decaying fingers, the stench of rotting flesh.
This really tells me that the dead need better manicurists. Like, this mountain has got problems.
Is this did you grow up in the city, Wren? Is this your first time kind of somewhere like this?
I grew up in the city, but I have traveled around a lot.
Okay.
So it's not my first time in the wilderness, but I do usually stay in towns or at people's houses, at farmhouses, if there isn't a town nearby when night falls. I don't much do the rough camping part of traveling. I mean, I've done it. Everyone's done it, but no need to do it more than once, obviously. You have the experience. You can write about it. After that, you sleep somewhere nice.
So you're at the top of what appears to be a staircase leading down into the earth. Behind you, you can see, just sort of lit in the stark moonlight, just these what just seems like an endless pile of bodies, just seemingly quite hungry for your flesh, or to add you to their number. Who can tell with skeletons? Alexandra, how does Onyx feel being inside an enclosed space such as this?
He's probably not keen on it, considering that he's been held captive before, and that
really?
wasn't a good experience for him.
What happened? When was he held captive?
A bunch of elves slaughtered his family who raised me in the forest, and they held him captive as sort of like a prize. And yeah, they hunted his family for meat. But that doesn't matter. We got our revenge, and here we are.
How old were you when you met Onyx?
I was a baby. We were both born at the same time, and his parents raised me as one of their own cubs.
Wow. So how do you feel being in an enclosed place like this?
I think we're both sort of hissing and growling a little bit. We're not too happy about this situation, but we've gone through worse, so we'll get through this.
The rest of you, how do Onyx and Alexandra smell to you? These creatures kind of both raised by panthers.
Musky.
Are they musky?
A little musky, but cats are very clean animals, so it's
right.
mostly okay. And I mean, panthers swim.
Panthers are dope.
But Andal has noticed that Onyx has very, very bad breath.
Right. Well, not nearly as bad as the breath of the horde behind you. Well, unless you have a plan to deal with the horde, are you gonna head down the staircase or try something else?
To look at the portcullis and see. It sounds like there's a huge weight of dead bodies massing against it. Does it look sturdy, as if it would hold for some time despite that pressure? Do we need to try and shore it up? Can I discern realities or something to take a look? Or
discern realities for that one.
Something obvious that you'd be able to tell if it's buckling or...
If we're lucky, it only needs to last until dawn. I mean, ghosts are dispelled by the sunrise. Who knows? Maybe zombies and skeletons are just corpses that have been inhabited by ghosts, and the ghosts will be dispelled by the sunrise. That's
I'd rather not wager our lives on speculations, Wren. I think be practical at times like this when facing an undead horde.
That's fair. That's not something I've done before. You're probably the expert.
It looks like it's going to hold for the moment. It doesn't look like it's in immediate... but it also doesn't look prudent to just wait by the portcullis to see if that's going to change. I mean, the other issue is there's only so close you can get to it because there's hands reaching through it for your delicate dwarven flesh.
Okay.
So go ahead. Yep.
I was just going to say, is it dark in here?
Yes.
I would like to try once again to cast a spell to cast a light cantrip on my warhammer.
Nice.
All right.
Fantastic. And also there was and also, sorry, just rewinding a second, Wren, you were gonna do arcane art to aid Andal, I think it was, but then mechanically it wasn't gonna make a difference. Do you still want to have done that? And or would you want to save that for later? Just because if you do, well, it would have worked, but there would be consequences, or you can just say you didn't actually do that.
Yeah, it probably has no effect because it only has an effect if someone aids someone else. So There can be consequences if you think that'd be interesting, but mechanically it actually doesn't do anything at all because it has to wait for a third party to do an aid action.
Right. Yeah. It's just that, doing arcane art and you got a 7, it works, but you draw unwanted attention.
I mean, I was playing violin very loudly, so...
We have a horde of zombies. I think we've already got unwanted attention.
Yeah.
Yeah, you've just got a little bit more now, though. But that's all good.
Alexandra, how is Onyx doing?
He's not too happy right now, and you just see him in the corner like, "Hey," and just a bit fuzzed up. But, and dead meat, like dead rotting meat, isn't exactly his favorite kind of food.
How hungry is he, though? Could he do the snack?
Oh, you want to give him your arm?
No. I was thinking we could get. I know it's not his favorite, but if he's very hungry, I can get him some of that rotten flesh, perhaps.
Oh yeah, we take it. Maybe he. Yeah, he had less.
Okay then, and you see Andal very, very fast and sneakily run over and then chop off one of the arms that's kind of poking through the portcullis, and then take it back to Onyx.
What does Onyx think about this?
Wait, don't eat the flesh of the undead. It seems like an unclean and foul substance that could pollute his body.
Oh no.
Can you purify it somehow?
I could. But I also have some dungeon rations if he's hungry.
It's okay.
Oh,
I got 10 fingers and toes. West coast to west, I cut one off and feed it to him. We okay.
We did only have dinner like 2 hours ago. He's probably not even hungry.
He's a big cat,
Yeah,
I know, but
they need a lot of
you've had
meat.
cats. They don't remember dinner when it was 5 minutes ago.
This is true.
we could do a test, see if whether Hermione's hungry. If Hermione's not hungry, we don't need to feed Onyx. No, he's fine, but thanks for the offer.
So Winifred, you do cast the spell. What does your magic feel like? How does it work? Is this a power that comes from Arn? How does that?
Yeah. Arn is the god of the dwarven people, and like many of the dwarven gods, her magic comes from the earth and the stones itself. And so it feels like, to no one else it would be perceptible, but to me it feels like there's a slight movement in the ground at my feet and sort of a soft, warm, goldish, silver prickling, feels like light, if light could feel, moves up through my soles of my feet. I'm barefoot, by the way, and up through my legs until it reaches my hands, where it kind of feels like it flows out and does what I need it to do. In this case, flows into my warhammer, where I channel it into a blue flame.
And so the blue flame illuminates all of you, and it casts I can only think of like a movie metaphor. You know what they call bisexual lighting, where stuff's like lit by red from one side and blue from the other. So imagine that.
Oh my god, I love that. I didn't know that's what it was called.
Yeah, bisexual lighting. Well, anyway, it's like that, but it's like you've got, on the sort of the arms of these corpses, and what you can see of their skulls, as you see it lit by one direction from this kind of stark white, is icy white moonlight, and on the other side this kind of warm pale blue glow. So yeah, it throws everything into a different relief, and you can see the steps leading down. You can see steps leading down into the depths of the earth.
And like all of Arn's magic, her magic brings cheer to those around. So I think the blue light doesn't just feel warm to me. It feels like perhaps a little bit cheerful for everyone, other than the undead, I would suspect.
Does Onyx find this cheerful? Erin?
Yeah, no, with the blue light, he starts to chase it like a laser pointer. And he gets like very intense about it. And I'm like, no, you can't eat it. You'll never win.
I think Winifred enjoys the game and plays with Onyx a little bit.
Oh my God, look at that kitty.
That's so cute.
So cute.
Yeah, there's so many cute cats tonight.
All right, so you're following are you gonna head down, or what you gonna do?
Definitely. Fate has brought us here to a grand adventure. We must head down so that we have something to tell people in the morning.
That's what she said.
No, what she actually said was, oh, yes, that was nice. Can we do it again? But, close enough.
All right. You come. You make your way. You make your way further down, and the kind of the smell of the ordinary kind of countryside, just the trees and plants, the smell of the earth up there gives way to the particular smell of the deep places underground. That'd be familiar to you, Winifred. And
wink, wink. Sorry, I forgot who's playing the bard. All right, I'll shut up.
No, I'm sure they're familiar to both of us.
Does not preach abstinence, I can tell you that.
Clerics of hearth and home are always a lot of fun.
So we need to fade to black now and then come back and one of you smoking a cigarette or something.
Orgy down in this tunnel. Oh, fuck, sorry.
That's all right. You making your way further down, you start to notice some worrying carvings in the rock on the left-hand wall. That depict scenes that even someone as urbane as you, Andal Cherrytop, finds quite disturbing. What do these carvings depict, and why is it so disturbing?
Oh God, it's the damn lizard people again. Oh, of my nightmares.
Wait, you have nightmares that show this? Andal.
I have nightmares about lizard people. When I was young and with my father, we went on an adventure together. And, wouldn't call it an adventure, but we went on a jaunt together. And we got stuck in the forest. And we found this place. And we got ambushed by these lizard people. Luckily, my father was an amazing fighter and fought them all off. But they did take a leg and an arm from him. So ever since then, I've been haunted by these visions of the lizard people.
Thank you. As you make your way further down, the images of the lizard people, which at first looked kind of triumphalist and victorious and look how powerful and strong the lizard people are, start to give way to pictures which show the lizard people themselves being slaughtered by other creatures. They're representative, they're kind of a humanoid form, what would appear to be long fangs and teeth. They're simple renderings, but a lot of attention is paid to the teeth and the fangs. You make it deeper still, and you see an image of a castle being built from the bones of the lizard people. and these humanoids wearing lizard skin cloaks. You can kind of, you can recognize the patterning on the cloaks from the patterning you saw higher up.
Is it too late to go back? Is it too late to go back?
What is the problem?
I'm just fascinated to know which culture carved these carvings. Was it the lizard people? Was it whatever ate them? Inquiring minds need to know.
I don't want to stand around to find out, to be honest.
Well, you're in luck because shortly after that, the staircase ends and opens out into a space it's too large for you to see the edges of it from the blue glow of the Warhammer, unless it can be like brightened somehow. But you can tell from the acoustics, you can tell from the echo that it's a substantial size. There's a smell of mildew in the air, and the faint sound of dripping. What do you do?
God, the sound of dripping always makes me need to wee.
Well, Alexandra.
You really should have been the bad.
Well, Alexandra is off relieving herself. I might once
Me
again.
and Onyx are both on the wall.
I'll once again kneel down, one knee on the ground, and put my face so close that the stones can feel my breath, and whisper the same thing, and attempt to speak to the stones about what's going on down here.
Do you want to roll it?
8.
Okay, so the spell is cast, but choose one. You draw unwelcome attention or put yourself into a spot, or your casting distances you from your deity. So take -1 on going to cast a spell until the next time you commune. Or after you cast it, the spell is revoked by your deity. You cannot cast the spell again until you commune and have it granted to you. What would you like to do?
They all suck. I'd like to revoke the spell, I think. But first,
Really?
Well,
That's
what
bold.
else am I going to do? Maybe I'll draw unwanted attention then. They're all sucky. Okay,
It's up to you, but I just think it might be useful spell to you later. That's all.
Okay, in that case,
But please, don't let me be the...
I think I've moved away from the group a little into the centre, though. So if I do draw unwelcome attention, I believe it would just be to myself. Okay, so let's do it.
And so then you and can you just remind me what the text is of the commune spell?
Hold on.
Not the
So I'm just going to get to my spell section.
Okay.
You see that?
Yeah, so 3 questions from the stones.
Yeah. So I whisper into it again in the language of stone, which might sound like sort of gravel moving on the ground to anyone else. Who made you?
To the stone?
Like to the world, like who made this space?
Oh.
Nice.
The lizard people.
Who is in you now besides us and my party?
The witch and her minions.
It's your mum, Andal.
I was going to say, it's my mum.
I really hope it is.
Plot twist.
And my last question will be, is the witch close by?
She is deeper.
Okay, I'll mutter like a thank you and breathe on the stone again to warm it as an offering, and then I'll stand up and relate what I've learned. As Alexandra returns shaking her leg or like doing it.
No, I'm scratching at the ground.
So can all dwarves talk to the stone like that, or is it something you learned to do as part of your training, or can all the devotees of Arn do that? How did you learn it?
Actually, it was a gift that I began to manifest when I was around 7 or 8, and it was one of the signs that I was called to the service of the dwarven gods who came from the stone. So not just the followers of Arn have this power, but the followers of many of the dwarven gods do, or the good ones.
And what did your training mean? Did you have to leave your family? Did you have to leave your friends?
Yeah, when you swear yourself to the service of hearth and home, the irony is that you must forever leave your own. So I warm the hearths of others, but I can never return to my familial hearth again.
Do you miss it?
Yeah, I miss the sounds of the voices of my family, but I was very young. I was about 8 when I left, so I feel it's more of a dream of sadness that I sometimes have rather than a living memory.
You hear the sound of something approaching from the far side of the cavern. So you're in the middle of it, is that right, Winifred? And everyone else is still back by the... Yeah. You hear the sound of something approaching. You're the only light source in the area, by the way, Winifred. What do you do? You're on mute.
I would like to touch my circlet and utter a prayer to Arn. I'm going to cast the deity, take the deity move, which might grant me a boon. Okay, so what I think I need to do is go like, I don't know how this works mechanically then if Roll20 doesn't have it in there. In the playbook it says that I should be able to make a petition to my god and then I'll be granted a boon or something useful. Would I have to roll for it or do I always get it when I petition? Sorry, I haven't played a cleric before.
No, me either, so let's just look it up. Okay, I can see it's got precepts. So you choose your deity's domain, and yours is home and hearth, yeah.
Or healing and restoration.
Healing and restoration, and then it says you choose a precept of your religion. Did you do that when you were?
It says I have to just choose, yeah. So my petition is offering.
Right. Your religion.
And the offering one makes for the goddess of the hearth is an offering of warmth, and that's why I breathe on the stones or I...
All right. The actual move is called divine guidance. So when you petition your deity according to the precept of your religion, you're granted some useful knowledge or boon related to your deity's domain. So it's a bit like spout law, but it's connected to your deity.
Okay. So for some reason, divine guidance is not in here, but I imagine it's using my wisdom. So could I just use cast a spell and we'll get the similar roll out of it?
Yeah, sure.
Okay. Rather than having to add it in there.
Actually, it doesn't say anything about rolling. No, you can just do it. Yeah, you can just do it.
Okay. So I would like to pray, breathe on the circlet, rub it, warm it with my hand, and ask that come to me now in a time of need.
Cool. We'll leave you there for a moment and see what the others are doing. So the rest of you are sort of back at the entrance. You've seen Winifred walk into the centre of the space, kneel down, make sounds to the ground. You start to hear something approaching. It's off in the distance still. And Winifred doesn't extinguish her light or anything like that. She just kind of touches something and mutters something. What are you doing? Andal, Wren, Alexandra?
Move closer to the light.
Mm-hmm. Alexandra?
After I finish my whiz bang, I call out to Winifred. Is this the noise? Is it meant to be doing that? Is this intentional or is something coming to kill us? She gone. Okay, guys, now we on full mode of panic. And I get my bow out.
Cool. Andal, what are you doing?
Oh, I might mute myself. Andal is doing the stereotypical thief thing and is just going to check the traps. Go forward and check the traps.
Okay. Do you want
to roll for it?
Mm-hmm.
Ooh, 11.
Yeah, cool. So you've got those 3 questions. You can use them all now, or you can basically just hang on to them and ask them when you think it's sort of to your advantage to do it.
Okay. So are we where are we at the moment? We're just in a corridor, or
no? You're in a cavern. You're in a large cavern. It's too large to see the other side of it.
Mm-hmm.
Great acoustics, though.
Well, I mean, just like acoustically, you can tell it's large. You can't sort of see the distance of it. You're just in the center of it. It's lit only by this warm blue light that's coming from Winifred's torch, which means there's huge shadows kind of like going off behind you.
Is there passageways that we know
of? Not yet. Just the one that you came down. I mean, you can explore and take a look and such. But
I think I'll explore. If I find a passageway, maybe head down it and use my trap actions then.
Okay. And so the sound of something coming towards you all, everyone's just going to leave that, not worry about it?
Oh, yes, there was a sound.
Well, I'm human, so I just want to be closer to the lights that I have a chance to see what it is before it attacks us, if it's something that's going to attack us. In the dark, I'm not going to go investigate it by myself.
I think we should huddle up near each other, I think.
Okay. You're huddling there and you hear this sort of kind of sound. And you see 2 figures just kind of 2 figures walk up. They have long fangs. They have long claws. They're sort of hunched and they're just seem kind of almost blinded by the light. The one on the left they're not attractive. They're sort of hunched, toady sort of looking humanoid, really pale skin with kind of a greenish cast on the left, sort of hunched and going, what have we here? What have we here? And the one on the right is sort of orangey skin and is kind of more like looking around nervously, sort of just sort of trying to see if there's anything else around. And then they start kind of edging closer to you.
Okay.
They're not coming too close just yet.
That's enough. Stop in your tracks.
Greetings, good people. Are you the owners of this castle? Dungeon?
Castle.
Building?
No, she owns this place.
So you just work here?
They
Are you
look at
like
each other
butlers?
and they go, we do her bidding.
That's good. That's what butlers should do. That's right.
How much do they pay you? We'll double your rate.
Andal, it's very rude to poach people's butler.
So what are you trying to do with this? Are you trying to kind of win them over, or are you trying to annoy them, or buy time? What are you trying to do?
Let's say, are you happy in your current situation?
Yeah. Do you have any union representation?
Yeah. Can I speak to your union rep, please?
We seek only union with Kya.
So where is this Kya?
Follow. And they start to motion you to walk after them. What do you do?
What's the equivalent of an insight check?
Discern. You're trying to suss out what's going on here, like if it's dangerous and stuff. Yeah, discern realities. It's called.
All right. What is that? Okay, so just roll a straight.
Well, you should just be able to click the name of the move, and it will roll it for you. But it should also say like what it is you're trying to do to suss out, the situation. Ooh.
How'd it go?
You guys are like either rolling 6 or like 12. Not much in between. Oh, actually, this has been a bit in between.
I can't
All right,
see
cool.
what I
So,
rolled.
all right,
You got
so you've
13.
got yeah. So you can ask 3 questions, and if you act on the answers, you get like a +1 bonus to your roll.
All right. What is about to happen? What should I be on the lookout for? And what is here that is not what it appears to be?
All right. So what is about to happen? What is about to happen? What should I be on the lookout for? And what here is not what it appears to be. What is about to happen is they're trying to lead you deeper into the mountain. And if you don't go along with it, they'll probably try to be more forceful. What should you be on the lookout for? Well, why are they so confident? Like you should be on the lookout for reinforcements, for the sign of that there's more of these around. And what here is not what it appears to be. Look, it's basically what it appears to be. You're in a big cavern and some ghoulish kind of creatures are trying to get you to follow them.
Okay, cool.
But
No, we're good, thanks.
Are they henchmen or goons?
What's
It's
the
important.
difference?
Oh, henchmen believe in their goal. Goons are just there to be paid.
They're henchmen.
Ah, damn. That's going to be awkward later.
Yeah.
What do? You going to follow them, or are you going to
Well, I still think that everyone in the world is good, so I just want to be polite. It's like we're in somebody's castle, we're hiding from zombies. Of course we should follow the butler.
Did you not hear the way they laughed? It sounded decidedly evil. There was a lot of rubbing of hands together, and I'm not sure.
We shouldn't be judging these people based on their species, Winifred. I mean, maybe that's just how toad people laugh. They not their fault.
Okay,
Yeah.
but they're definitely, if we go that way, they're going to kill us or sacrifice us to whoever.
Or maybe they'll take us to the witch who owns the castle.
Yeah, and she'll kill us or sacrifice us to whatever.
Not everyone is as bad as the people who hurt you, Alexandra. Some people are just good.
I'm yet to be proven otherwise.
I will keep trying to introduce you to good people.
Can I parlay with them?
Yeah, give it a go.
See what I roll.
You need some sort of leverage, though. But we can interpret that broadly, like what.
We'll go 10.
Yeah. But you need to have something to offer. You need to have some either some way to threaten them or something to offer them, something to.
You could offer them that arm of zombie.
Oh yes.
Onyx didn't want to eat.
Yes.
Also, they seem a little bit scared of the light. I don't want to venture into the line of torture, but we could just kind of wave the light near their eyes to kind of, like, they wouldn't want that, right? Is that torture?
Yeah, it's
No,
not
that's
fun.
all right. That's fine. I think it's like, so for me, torture is like if someone's restrained and you're deliberately causing pain to them. Like if you're in a fight, that's not torture, right?
Yeah.
If you're trying to make someone go away, that's not torture. It's like when they're restrained and you're,
Yeah. So perhaps I could kind of like be vaguely threatening with the light, and if they sort of answer, then I could like wave it away from them a bit. Would that be leverage?
yeah.
Yep, let's do it.
And what do you want to ask them?
I'm going to ask them, look, aren't you sick of crunching on the bones of your enemies? Wouldn't you like an easier life? We here can offer you that easier life.
You should have been playing a salesman.
I should know.
Life? What is that to us?
Well, not literally life, but existence. You will be equals with us. You can't you see that you're being used by those above you? They don't really care about you. We care about you.
Equal with those who. Sorry, what's the voice? I forgot the voice. Equal with those from the stinking above lands.
Look. Wren will write an amazing song about you two. Amazing. It's going to be incredible.
So your leverage
Absolutely.
is the light. The leverage is the light, right?
Yes.
So you're trying to threaten them with the light to do what?
Subtly threaten them to get them to join our side.
I'm not sure how well that's going to work, honestly.
Hey, I rolled a 10.
Yeah, you did, but they are monsters.
Well, how about this? How about you do not harm us? You don't have to join us, but if it comes to fisticuffs, you just go have a break and chow down on some bones.
They look at one another and they go, we will ask Kya. Yes, we will ask Kya. And they sort of scurry away into the dark.
Always with this car.
Yeah. So they're not hurting you.
Sounds like they keep on trying to punch the air.
Hey, it's 8:30.
Okay.
Okay,
So-
we are back.
After
Let's
they
go.
recede into the distance, what would you like to do? You maybe have a moment to explore this space before they come back. You could follow them. You could do something else, but for the moment, this space is your own again, and you haven't seen its extent yet.
They are going to charge, so I could hunt and track them, so we could sneakily follow them and find out where they are and kill their leader.
You can certainly track them as well.
I'm just going to turn to Andal and say, so these people, they seem to have a bit of a death wish with this wanting to go to Kya thing. Should we try and find the back door? And then I'm going to look at the flame coming from my warhammer. As a dwarf, I think I'm quite good at being able to tell if there are winds, like in what direction the winds are coming from, and perhaps understanding where tunnels might be from looking at the way a flame flickers.
Yeah, you do get the sense that there's probably a tunnel to the off to the left and one off to the right, and then there's the entrance that you came in from.
And they came from the one to the left, correct?
Yeah, correct.
So I might just kind of pull Andal aside and say, like, you're a man of pragmatism. I think there's a tunnel over in that direction, and I feel like that's the direction we should be going.
So away from where the
Yes.
Yeah, Andal, what do you say?
Sorry. Sorry, repeat that. Just cut out.
Oh, so I was just asking, appealing to your pragmatism, because the other two seem to either want to make friends with the witch or hunt her down. I was appealing to you to help me get the whole party to move towards the other tunnel.
Right. Yes. So the ghoul creatures went down one tunnel, right?
Yeah. The
And we
tunnel
want. Yes, I think they will. I think they're just going for a lunch break. I think we should, go down the other tunnel.
Mm-hmm. Okay,
and what do you think, Wren, about the stories and songs that you could write if we were able to escape from this place? Now, I think perhaps this is the direction we should be going. And I was sort of gently bring Red along with me.
You do come to a tunnel. You remember you have remember you're holding your detect trap moves and all. If you want to try them at any point, just let me know.
We're going down a fresh new tunnel. I would say yes. Now's a good time to do it.
Okay, and then what do you do to check for traps?
Well, it kind of like pretends he's kind of like in an action movie and just kind of goes, ooh, ceiling, ooh, yeah, and then checks everywhere.
Okay. Yeah, you do see a trap in this corridor. It's an area of the floor where you've stepped on. Well, that's another question. There is a trap here, and it's activated by a patch of floor, which is actually a little bit wide to jump over. Maybe about 2 meters wide.
Everyone, stop. Wren, stop whistling that tune. Pay attention. You're muted.
There's a whistle-related trap?
Yeah. We need to focus.
That's fascinating. I'm totally putting that in the song.
Just on a pause note, can just one day we have a session where just our cats play or something?
Yes.
They are so cute.
Have you ever played Magical Kitties Save the Day?
Yes.
Yeah,
Danielle.
I read one of those.
It's really
Danielle
fun.
ran it for us. You should run it again.
Yeah.
They just have kitties.
Kirsty's really good at running it too.
Yes, where were we? Now, how shall we get over this trap? You see that right there? This is a trap. Capital T.
Anyone got rope? I could maybe tie rope to my bow and shoot it across, and it woo woo around something, and then tuk tuk, and then we woo across.
How many people could Onyx hold? Could we all jump on her back and she can jump over the trap? She can jump further than we can.
He is a cute kitty, but maybe just one at a time. He could just pow 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 pow.
Yeah, let's do the pow. Let's do the pow pow.
But if pow pow don't work, it's a big loss. I don't know what to sacrifice.
I believe in the pow pow.
Oh no.
So that's the plan. That's what you're going to do.
Yep. I have healing potions.
Okay.
It's a drop though, right? Like they will be dead.
No, it wasn't a drop, was it?
No,
It's a
it's just
patch of
like
floor.
there's a patch of floor which is going to activate something, but it looks like
Oh,
It's a big button, but we can't jump over it. But maybe the kitty could.
yeah, my bad. Do you think I did Kitty? One of Kitty's things is that they're huge.
yeah. How huge? How huge is Onyx? We haven't even talked about this.
No, that's inappropriate. Oh,
You are not the bard. We're reminding you,
I
you are not the bard.
struggle.
So I should be commenting about Onyx?
I'd say, well, if they're huge, they're like dire wolf size. So
Yeah, bigger than they're huge for a panther, right?
yeah, so maybe like his head comes up to her shoulder.
Mm-hmm.
So
That's a big
yeah,
kitty.
and she is quite big herself and burly, but rides him, so he would have to be like quite big for that. So could carry us no problem.
Yeah, let me just check. What's the?
Like Battle Cat from He-Man.
Ooh. Yeah.
So and what trainings does it have?
The trainings.
Yeah, like in the
Oh, so its strengths are huge and intimidating. And then trainings is fight monsters, and then weakness is savage.
Oh.
I did ferocity 2, cunning 1, instinct 1.
Look, it sounds to me like you're going to be able to get across this patch without any trouble. Like nothing about Onyx is like not flighty or unpredictable. I think you can just do this plan and just like tell us how it looks. Like just describe an awesome sequence of Onyx kind of ferrying everyone across this hazardous area. I don't reckon you need to roll for it. I think it sounds within the power of a panther that big is going to be able to jump.
Yeah.
Describe us the pow pow.
Yeah.
Now-
Tell us like what do we see? What's happening?
We have a Benny Hill sequence
No.
with Narcat playing in the background. And
The bard is playing it, surely.
yeah. And he's just like jumping off walls and doing flips and sort of like not always carrying people, but like lifting people up with his tail, and he's sort of, showing off his stuff.
Nice. All right. So you'll make it past the trap. And you're heading sort of further down. You're heading further down this passageway.
Yep.
All right. You come to a wooden door, and you can hear the sound of something on the other side. It sounds almost kind of animal, actually. What do you do?
Are we
What sort of
talking
animal? Oh, sorry.
frightened?
Oh, you wanna listen-
aggressive animal?
Listen more closely. It sounds like the closest thing it sounds like is it's like a bunch of dogs.
Onyx, food! Let's go!
Yes.
You're gonna open the door. You're gonna go back the way you came. What you gonna do?
Did I have any trap thingies left over?
Yeah, you got two. Got two questions.
Can I say the door's trapped?
Let me just check what the question is. So, is there a trap here? And if so, what activates it?
What else is hidden here? What does the trap do when activated?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I mean, you can use one of those questions again. You can use the first one again if you want.
Yes, I do.
Yes, there is a trap here, and
Bloody dungeons.
and the thing that activates it is well, it looks like there's a little tripwire kind of on the bottom of the doorway.
I will try to disable it.
Mm-hmm.
I guess I use tricks of the trade, yeah?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Oh. It
man!
explodes in my face.
How's that gonna work? Let me just think about this for a sec.
No.
It burns. It burns.
Turns out that cutting tripwires doesn't disable them.
Yeah, look, I think actually what happens is as you try to disable the trap, the door just swings open, and you find yourself you find yourself face to face with a group of kind of like if the creatures you saw were kind of analogous to humans with big fangs and long claws, these are equivalent to dogs. They look like they've never seen the sun or daylight. Their eyes are kind of pale. Their coats have no pigment, but it's not a healthy white coat. It's just a kind of it's an absence. It's an absence of color. They have very long fangs. The light, they don't like the light, but they really don't like you. It's hard to tell exactly how many of them there are, maybe like 6 or 7. It's a bit hard to tell.
Have they? Were these the things that killed the lizard people?
Pretty sure the frog people are the things that killed the lizard people. Humanoids with fangs rather than dogs with fangs. The bloodlets, remember?
Yes.
So for the moment, they're kind of sort of taken aback, but they'll get their bearings. This is their domain. They'll get their bearings at some point.
Ooh,
what do you do? You've got to. You can run away. You can attack them. Try to trick them or something. I guess. What do you do?
Is there another exit in this room that we can see?
Yeah, but it's on the other side. It's on the other side of the dogs. So you see, kind of it's like they've been locked in a smallish kind of room. There's it smells of dog, it smells of some sort of meat in there.
And let's see now. Hey, we're back. Sorry, had a power outage. Let's go. What were we doing?
You have a bunch of
dogs. Dogs in a pool.
Yeah, dogs that are like, the way like deep sea fish have no pigment and everything's like pale and disgusting and maybe even to the point of
I can use that in the song too.
Yeah.
The dogs are like the fish swimming through the mountain, through the darkness and shadows.
Hey, nice.
How about you shut that door, as you thought you might be able to do?
Yes, I didn't mind do that.
Lyrics.
I had an idea. Maybe I show them that I am the alpha, and they all fall in line.
Good idea.
I love that.
I am more proficient with kitties though than I am with doggies, so only problem.
Problem.
So wait a second, who's doing what?
Trying to shut the door, but I stumble, hesitate, or flinch.
Okay. Look, you can shut the door. However, you start to hear something coming from the other direction, the direction of the trap, the direction of the cavern where the henchmen were chatting to you before they went off to talk to whoever Kya is. You start to hear something coming down the hallway that way. What do you do?
Right, guys, am I shutting the door with us inside or outside it?
I think I'd rather face dogs than a witch. I'm just going to go into the room, face down the dogs. Try this plan, Alexandra.
Hey, yeah.
All
We're
right.
both gonna me and Onyx are gonna get down on all fours, and I'm just gonna.
So like intimidate.
Yeah.
Cool.
Or maybe
So-
it's like parlay with leverage being like social dynamics in animals.
yeah. That's good.
Maybe.
I could
Oh
do
my
it.
god, I love that.
Yeah, do that.
Yes.
Yep. What can I leverage them?
Well, just fear. You've got this enormous.
Yeah.
This enormous panther.
Amazing. All right, now I roll to parlay take. We do douche. Oi. Parlay. Do. Oh yeah. I don't have any. How'd I go? It doesn't actually come up with me. I don't
Oh,
see my
no.
results.
3.
Shit.
It goes extremely poorly. So
With
they,
advantage because I have a kitty? Can Onyx roll?
well, that will get you up to 4, maybe 5. There's a little moment of uncertainty as you and Onyx get down on your as you get down on your hands and knees, and Onyx just stays on all 4 paws, and then these creatures just and leap at you. What do you do?
Why is no one afraid of me? I will. What's the defy danger?
You can defy danger to sort of do anything else, if you know what I mean. Like, well, I mean, you could say defy danger to get out of the way, or to, or you're trying to just like smash your way through them. Are you trying to?
Yeah,
Kirsty?
I would just be like, all right, get out of my face, bitches, and.
Or if you're trying to draw a weapon without getting, like, I think in this moment where they're like jumping at you, you'd have to roll out of the way, grab a weapon, that kind of thing. You can do something awesome, right? Because you're a ranger.
Spin around and grab out my bow and get ready to shoot.
Okay, cool. Yeah, so defy danger then and see how you go.
My dex.
That sounds like dexterity, yeah. So, Winifred, what were you going to say?
Yeah, I
Cut
would
you
just, in that moment before Alexandra spinning around, in the moment when it seemed like perhaps things would work out with the parlaying with the dogs, I might just once again put a hand on her shoulder and attempt to bless her, whispering the words to Arn that sound a bit like the language of rocks. So should I do that?
If you want, she rolled a 10, but you
Yeah, no, but yeah, well,
do it anyway because it's good.
I just did do it anyway.
And it failed.
Bless would help her throughout the whole battle if she could get it going.
Yeah. Look, I think what happens is that, so what's going to happen here narratively, Erin, you and Onyx are just going to do something awesome and get your weapon out and be kind of like really ready for the next thing that happens. So tell us what that looks like. And Winifred, you're going to get attacked. That's you've basically just drawn their attention to you, and that will do you first, Alexandra. So yeah, just describe what it looks like, how you evade these creatures.
So Onyx gets into a defensive move. I do like kick my feet up and like flip so I land ready to ride Onyx, and I draw my bow so I don't have to worry about movement. He's got that covered for me.
All right, fantastic. And then you want to kind of like do sort of like a ranged weapon attack on them?
Yeah,
or?
Yeah, fuck it. Fuck these bitches.
Yeah, just do it.
All right.
And if you wanted to kind of do your arcane art now, Wren, that might be a good moment to.
Yeah.
If you want.
No, I will do my arcane art. Let's just roll it as a first pass. Arcane art.
Shot.
Nice.
I also draw attention.
Yeah.
So I'm going to plus 1d4 damage to Winifred's next attack.
Nice. And tell us because I don't think we've done this yet. So what's it like when you do this kind of, it's this sort of like a magical, musical, like what's it like? What does it feel like? What would we see? What does it do to the atmosphere?
You don't really see anything. Internally, it's like that flow moment when you're doing something physical and it just suddenly clicks and it works perfectly. It's like something more than the skill that I have is flowing through my hands and my voice as I sing to Winifred about how these dogs are nothing more than shadowfish, and she is the ruler of this mountain. As a dwarf, mountains are her heritage, and the fish who once lived there have no power over her at all. But in terms of what everyone else hears, there's just this sort of almost buzzing echo that fills the space, and everyone feels a sense of that feeling just before lightning strikes, just before a storm comes, almost a heaviness in the air, like everything's somehow more important. Even if it's not actually more important, it feels that way. It has gravitas.
Excellent. Wow. That's so good. I love that fish image, mountain fish. All right, Erin. And so while this is going on, Winifred, you have dogs kind of jumping on you. You're just a dwarf. It's starting
just to dwarf? Do you doubt me?
I mean, just in terms of your size relative to dogs.
And diminishing my people.
Sorry. You're only as big as a dwarf. Erin, I'm sorry, Alexandra, are you gonna be like shooting at the dogs that are on Winifred, or are you going for other ones? What's your...
No, the ones on Winifred, yeah, if they're attacking us, definitely those ones.
Right, and so the thing to click on your playbook would be volley, I think.
Oh, okay.
Looks like you clicked on the bow itself.
Oh, my bad. Volley. And then can Onyx attack as well? Volley.
Absolutely. Totally.
And then my modifier is it Dex for attacks?
Dex for the ranged weapon thing, and then let me just check what you can do. Oh, so if you see on the front page of your sheet, the front of the character sheet bit, you can click a box for companion attack. I can click it for you.
Oh, yes, please.
Yeah, and then that will add to your... Nice. Okay. So let me just see how the roll breaks down. Yeah. Okay, cool. All right, and then you roll your... You've got to... Because this is a mixed result, you'll get to damage your adversary, but you've kind of got a choice of something bad happening. So either you have to move to get the shot, which puts you in danger, or you just sort of have to take what you get and you get reduced damage, or you have to take several shots and you reduce your ammo. Ammo is an abstraction, you start with 3 and this would take you down to 2. So it's not that you have 3 arrows, it's that you have 3 lots of ammo.
Okay. I think I have 6 ammo because of part of my adventuring gear and then a part of my Standling bundle. So I will reduce it by 1, so I have 5.
All right. So then roll your damage and then just tell us what we see. Like what's the shot? What's the...
Well, the first one was an 8. I think that was my damage. Yep, damage dice an 8. So yeah, it's on top of Winifred, and I just want it to like go through its throat. Hopefully it dies, and so as it's trying to bite her, it just like blah.
Yep. Yeah, it goes like straight through the throat of one of those creatures, and it just kind of falls to the ground and starts like kind of just choking on its own blood. Its blood is also strangely this kind of albino color, not even white, just like a clear fluid, just kind of like gurgling, and just like just starting to pour out of its throat. It's kind of like lying on the ground and thrashing and spreading out in a pool on the ground. And Onyx, I think, can maybe like wrench off one of the others, but not quite kill it. But all right, that's awesome. And Winifred, are you going to like try to get to your feet and get?
Yeah, I think. And earlier I called upon my deity and was granted a boon. That we haven't played that out. Do you think that now might be a time when Arn might come to my aid? As I rise to my feet, would she perhaps guide my battle hammer upwards so that I could also strike as I rise?
Have you kept the precepts of your faith faithfully?
Well, yeah, like they're pretty loose.
Have you been good?
No paladin. Good in the tradition of Arn is being open, is sharing, caring, do these things.
All right. Well, let's just cut over to I've got to remember Andal's name. So are you still in the hallway, or have you come into the room at this point?
At this point, I've come into the room, yeah.
Okay, cool. And Wren, you're all in the room?
Yeah, I think I pulled the door shut behind us, which was I was trying to shut the door between us and the dogs. And then there was a noise that distracted me. Everyone went into the room. So I actually just pulled the door shut and locked us in with the dogs.
Mm-hmm. Okay. All right. There's kind of a moment you could try to sort of, you've dealt real damage. You've killed one. You've dealt real damage to another. That surprises them a little. And there's this a little moment where if you wanted to, you could maybe try and make a run for it and get past them, or you could try and, you've done okay fighting them so far. You could try to, just finish that if you want.
Let's run.
You're gonna run.
Looking like a true thief.
Right.
Run back out the door or across the room to the other door and out that one.
Across the room.
Across the room.
Yeah. All right. So I think Andal, if you rolled like defy danger with, let's say, dexterity, you're trying to just get past them. Like it's an opportunity to get past them. It's not a certainty.
Yeah. Did that come through?
Yep.
Yeah, 8.
8. Okay. Yep.
Yeah. All right. So that means it's got to be
a cost.
Success. Yeah, it's got to be a cost. All right, got it.
That's an evil laugh, Mike. Stop it.
You make it past the dogs. And indeed, they start to cower back behind you. It's strange. It's like as you're moving away from them, they start to kind of cower back as in real terror. And you hear just in front of you, this way, this way, this way, this way. And into your presence come the two creatures that you saw previously.
My friends.
And then a taller, more stately figure behind them. Skin kind of the color of dirty snow, bright green eyes, and a more profound sense of decay. And this figure stands like a head taller than than the other two. And looks at you, actually, Andal.
Mm-hmm.
It says,
It's your mum.
You say that every time.
says,
Why have you come here? Who enters Kia's domain?
Personally, I'm after something shiny, let us say that much. I can't speak for my companions, but we were also running away from a horde of, let's just say, scary things.
she fixes you with a gaze. Those green eyes, those hypnotic green eyes, start to glow more brightly, and you feel quite the compulsion to kneel in front of her. In fact, I think you'll have to defy danger not to do that.
Oh man,
What do you do? Will you kneel, or will you?
I'm defying danger. With what ability?
Constitution.
Can I try to help him with my
Absolutely.
arcane
This
art?
would be a great moment to help. Because
I need it. Oh god, I rolled a 5.
can you get a +2 out of that, or is it
Can I also aid as well? Can there be multiple attempts to aid?
I think you probably should.
Because, I believe that Anne would want me to mutter a prayer at this time.
So
Yeah. It's forsaken me this evening.
arcane art let someone shake off an enchantment.
Oh, that's good. I think actually that Damien and Winifred, you find yourself kneeling before her. But I think Wren, you can describe how your arcane art perhaps can kind of rest them back into self-control. How would you do it? What would you do?
I begin to play, and everything about this underground labyrinth has been very solemn, very quiet and dark and almost morbid. So I'm going to play the fastest and most obnoxious jig that I know. And I'm going to, while I'm playing this on my fiddle, I'm going to modify the lyrics to include Winifred and Andal's names in those lyrics, describing them doing just utterly ridiculous things, dancing on one leg with a cock on their head, whilst juggling pigs in the innkeep's backyard. And so I'm going to try to use that and use the tempo of the melody to just shake the enchantment out of them.
Okay. Andal, Winifred, how does this feel? What's going on? Kind of like how does this song kind of help you kind of regain yourself? Like, you don't even really know what happened. You didn't want to kneel. All of a sudden you are.
I think Andal is never had the greatest of self-confidence, but hearing these words of heroism and bravery just gives him a lift of adrenaline and confidence, and just says, oh, yes, I can fight this.
Mm-hmm. Winifred?
Yeah, I think for Winifred, she just is in a green fog. The green eyes have kind of invaded every part of her mind, and then stealing into it comes this jig that somehow kind of represents every silly dance she's ever done with friends or strangers around a campfire ever. And I think she just kind of rises and starts spontaneously dancing, and the green fog just kind of leaks from her mind.
Alexandra, what are you doing? Are you just hanging back to see what's going to happen? Are you going to attack with Onyx?
I'm getting ready to attack, but just standing defenseless. So yeah, I'm analyzing this person.
Okay. I think what you would... Do you want to discern realities, actually?
Ooh, yes. Discern reality. Nope. Nothing is real.
I'm glad I'm not the only one who's rolling my poo.
Then I think, sadly, as you're attempting to kind of work out what's going on here and how she's having this effect, you also lock eyes with that, that kind of gem-like green gaze that just seems to burrow deep inside you. And I think actually you and Onyx are going to have to defy danger to avoid kneeling before her.
Oh no. All right. I prefer to defy gravity, but danger will work too. Where do we dex out of the way?
I give you. Oh, I was treating it as Constitution, like sort of force of kind of wheel smashing through kind of thing, like life force. But if you want to say how it would work,
Do I add a +1 because Onyx is a part of this, or no?
Yeah, I reckon.
Okay, so just need all the help I can get.
Nice.
Hey!
All right, so you kind of like wriggling out of the way. You kind of like...
Yeah, we
just a cat bow.
Drop and roll. I'm like, what have we been learning? And Alex and I just roll across the ground.
This creature looks at you all with... It's hard to read her expression, actually. It's half contemptuous, but also you get the sense that not many have managed to stand again after those eyes have she says, "Oh,
I weary of these games,"
and raises a hand, and you raises a second hand, and you start to hear a scurrying kind of sound from the hallway in both directions, as though something is staring and coming close to and coming closer. The stench of this place, this kind of like mildewy cloth and rotting flesh, is getting stronger. The dogs are still afraid. Dogs. But yeah, you can hear that in whatever direction you could try to go from here, it sounds like something is coming towards you. What do you do?
So mechanically, I would at this point probably pray for divine guidance again, but you haven't yet granted my first lot.
Oh, yeah, that's right. Sorry. I'm just kind of like scurried away from...
Yeah. So do you think at this point Anne might come to aid me, or...
Yeah.
Perhaps it could just be, I don't even know. Maybe it could be advantage on a roll or something. What's coming or something, says the attempting to GM from the side person.
Yeah. Well, look, I think... Okay, so if we're just going to parlay here, I think your choice is you could have useful information, or you could have a mechanical advantage of some sort without useful information.
Judging by the way I've been rolling, I feel like I need a mechanical... No, maybe the law of averages says I'm due for a really good roll. I think I'd like to have some useful information, if that's okay. And then I think I would like to try turn undead to see if it works on Kiara. She smells like something dead.
Mm-hmm. Okay, the useful information is, actually she is Andal's mother. And his blood will be poisonous to her. If you feed Andal to her, she will die.
Oh!
Well, it's a no-brainer. Hand him over.
What about part of Andal, like his arm or something?
You can try.
So just going to kind of furtively whisper this. Andal, This is your mum, and Anne has granted me knowledge that your blood is poisonous to her, deadly to her.
What? Hey, what? My mom?
Do I overhear this?
You get my mom? Mom?
I'm giggling.
Mama!
Killed
I killed a man. He meant it literally.
While you're
Oh my God.
while you're trying to work out what to do, the sound of something approaching is getting louder. It's getting louder quickly, actually.
So do I overhear that Andal is actually this witch's child?
Yeah, I think so. Because Winifred came and
Right.
whispered it to the rest of you.
I'm going to try to parley with the witch
Ooh.
to get her
Ooh.
to stop summoning whatever it is she's summoning, because this is, after all, her heir, her only child.
Mm.
And there's surely that would negate, a few minutes of boredom and tiresomeness to just talk about it before she summons the undead hordes to eat us.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, see how you go. It's going to be interesting either way, right?
If nothing else, I'm hoping to get some time.
Whoa.
Wow.
Wow. Okay. What do you say? What do you say?
Holy wow. 13.
Great. Is Kia your name, my lady?
It is.
Did you realize that this is your only child, your heir, who has come from afar to visit your greatness in your castle? And we just were trying to find you in the castle. It's a little dark in here. It's hard to find things. Could you perhaps call off the dogs and zombies and things just for a few minutes while we talk about how you had a child? How does that even work? I mean, are you... Not that I'm prejudiced at all. Totally dead things are cool, but biologically speaking, how does that work?
Choose your questions carefully, young human. But this creature does gaze at Andal. Are you going to meet her gaze, Andal? Or are you going to avoid it?
Andal is holding his legs and rocking in a corner.
And so the request is to call off the forces and
Let's just talk it out like civilized beings.
Okay, so what it tells me as GM is that they'll ask you for something and do it if you make them a promise first.
Okay.
She says,
But I was hungry. So hungry.
We have here a certified cleric of Hearth and Home who I'm sure will be happy to cook you a gourmet meal. Just point us at the kitchens.
Indeed, I have my world famous dungeon rations of cranberry and snap dried turkey. And also with a macadamia nut crust. It's almost a crime to call them rations.
I will spare the child, she says, if I may eat the panther.
Oh.
The panther's not mine.
And get in there. Come on. Sacrifice yourself is no negotiation. It's the only option.
You're telling your panther to...
No, I'm telling Angel.
Me.
Onyx is not on the menu.
As you're discussing this, the sound of approaching hordes grows louder
Okay, so I start to, again, I touch my circlet, the spirit, the symbol of Arn, and I start to mutter another incantation, which is the turn undead, which will hopefully work this time. What's this?
Nice.
At least it's like not a 6.
Yeah, that's good. All right. This is great.
I think like a circle of like
Yes.
that same warmth kind of spreads out, just a short distance from me. I think it just takes in Andal's kind of rocking corner, Onyx prowling, tail lapping.
Okay.
Maybe when it bumps on the feet of the witch, what impact does it have on her, Mike?
She stares at it aghast and then finds herself pushed back. She has to step back from it. Her toadies kind of go, cha cha, make it go away, cha cha, and Kya is pushed back. But at a certain point, the extent of the protection becomes apparent. She's pushed back that far and no further. You have, I would say, about like probably like an 8-foot radius around you. There's you in the middle of it. So you have your blue hammer lighting everything in the middle. And it's almost as though the glow of that hammer, they're two different things, but it's like they're occupying the same space, and at the edge of it, past the brightest point. And as you stand there, the hordes she was calling, who are basically like her toadies, slightly shorter, just with horrible, filthy fangs, sickly, deathly looking skin. There's just looks like dozens of them behind her, and her toadies on one side, behind the dogs on the other side, just going and just the thrum of it, the sound of it is just becomes more and more oppressive. And
so with my two hand, I raise my hand and say, "No one make any moves of aggression, or Arn will cease to protect us from these creatures. Stay near me and we will be safe." And then I continue with the prayer.
Is anyone else getting like zombie movie vibes from this?
The woman looks at you and says, "Your spell is powerful."
My God is powerful, more powerful than you, witch.
Ooh, your spell is powerful. Your spell is powerful while you live. But in time you will starve. And then we will feed upon you. And I propose that's actually maybe where the curtain should fall. He's just kind of got this moment of like, is there a way out of this or is there not? I don't know. I think that's kind of like quite a nice image to wrap the story on. Yeah. What do you all reckon?
Yeah. Well, you're the GM. You're the GM.
A final moment of Andal perhaps doing something other than Rocky. I feel like
getting ready to say that.
Speak to your mother.
They're going to say something.
Yeah, I think I'd go over to mum and just give her a quick hug and then walk away.
Wow.
Nice. All right, then I reckon we just kind of, I reckon the credits roll, just kind of with this scene,
Yeah.
And everyone just standing there kind of like looking around and the hordes go.
This epic song about shadowfish and dogs.
It's kind of a good Lovecraftian ending, actually.
No.
Yeah.
What's gonna happen? What's gonna happen?
Jellyfish and dogs. I can't believe she was your mum.
I know. What the fuck?
Well, I didn't know that was going to happen, but then when you said there was a witch, I was like, oh well, that's a good idea.
Yeah, GM, good GM thinks on their feet. So well done.
Thanks. Well, do you usually do stars and wishes? Do you do that kind of thing? Or do you just rap?
Rap. I have no idea what that is.
Oh, sorry. Like, to just end now, or?
Yes. So I would sign off and then play the end music, and that would be it. That's how we usually do things.
Nice. Sounds good.
Alrighty.
Do stars and wishes like off screen.
Right. That seems sensible.
Yep. All right. We'll say goodbye to the internet, and thank you very much, Michael. Thank you so much, Kirstyn, and thank you, Kitty, with the cute paws. And
cute.
Oh God. And yes, we've got another fundraising month coming up in November, raising funds for Transgender Victoria. So
nice. That's excellent.
that is we can talk more about that later. But yes, that's our plan for next month. So yes, farewell, internet.